The Offspring, there they are. I get you both.
Yeah.
Studio there. That's so cool. It's so nice to see you guys. Welcome, Dexter and Noodles.
Thanks, man.
Hello. Yes.
You know, it's an understatement to say it has been a minute since we got some new Offspring music. It's got to be finally exciting after you've been sitting on this stuff for how long now? Like half a decade?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Something like that. New album, Let the Bad Times Roll, coming out April 16. We've been on the single since it came out. It's one of those, it's like as close as a political song that you can get to for The Offspring, I would say. It's kind of like you talk about religion, politics, whatever, and then you go, let the bad times roll, you know?
That's exactly the point. If there's a serious message in there, but at the end of the day, you're kind of like, let the bad times roll. Like you got to roll with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great track, and it's still, I mean, you guys still have the same spirit you've had for as long as I've known the band. I mean, you know, since Ignition, I guess, is when I first got on, and man, it's still there. Everything. I mean, do you guys have to hit a touchstone to get that, or you guys just turn on the switch and here we are, The Offspring? How does that work for you guys?
That's awesome. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I think it really comes from the fact that we just love getting together and making music. You know, we fell in love with a certain kind of music when we were growing up and coming up in the world, and punk rock kind of showed us how to make our own way in this world. So that's the kind of music we love and we keep coming back to. You know, we do experiment with different styles of music, but we always try to give it, even those styles, the Offspring treatment. But it's just what we love to do. So I think that kind of comes easy for us.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like in between these albums, I saw you guys live more in between all these albums than I've ever seen you before. You guys were certainly keeping busy and doing your Offspring thing. I mean, there was probably 4 shows here in Tucson. I saw you in Vegas at a convention there, and all that time, you guys still weren't playing this new stuff. I think you guys might have played "Coming for You," maybe.
We did "Coming for You," and we also did a song called "The Opioid Diaries." We were playing that the last couple of years, and I think just because we wanted people to hear some of this stuff. Sometimes you don't want people to hear crappy cell phone versions on YouTube, shaky cell phone versions. You know, you want them to hear the song. But we kind of thought the Opioid Diaries would work well live. And we wanted to play something new. It had been too long. So we've been playing that actually for a while.
It's a thrash. YouTube, one of the things that I do, and I do it every night, and I'm up to like 3-4 in the morning watching people do reaction videos. Have you seen people react to Offspring songs? In fact, last night I went on, a guy had just put one up reacting to Pretty Fly for White Guy.
I haven't watched any of that. Yeah.
They're hilarious. These guys,
is it funny?
They're watching it for the first time. They're like, you guys told me to watch this. I've never even heard of this band. I don't know what's going on. The guy's like, this is not what I expected, but this is what I needed right now.
How funny. I guess I know what YouTube rabbit hole I'm going to go down tonight.
I guess, you know, after
reaction to Offspring, and all kinds of stuff will come up, man. It's hilarious. I recommend it if you haven't done it yet. Album cover, I want to talk about it because I'm looking at it behind you. I think this is my favorite album cover since Ixnay on the Hombre. Who did this? What's the inspiration behind it? I think it's a beautiful cover.
Thank you. It's actually a fellow Arizonan, a guy named David Benito, who lives in Phoenix. And we have a piece of his artwork here in the studio. And when Dexter was thinking of concepts for this, he goes, "Hey, you know, what about this guy? I like this guy's work. It could work." And he started collaborating with David and came up with this.
Yeah, it was really random. Just happened to have a piece of his art in the studio and went from there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's kind of a Day of the Dead feel kind of thing to it. And I think it goes perfect with this right here that I've got.
Yes, the hot sauce.
I like this. It's not just Dexter's Gringo Bandito. It's an Offspring brand now. Is this now going to be something that you put out under the Offspring label, or is it just the one-off here for this one?
This is just a one-off.
Until we do it again.
Until the two off.
Yeah.
I like that Mojo and Chutzpah are the first two ingredients on this thing right here.
Very important ingredients to put in a hot sauce.
I also see the track listing here, and there's a particular song I see here down at the bottom. It's on I guess on the album Gone Away. What is going on there? What is that?
Yes, we do. We've been doing Gone Away in a different arrangement, I guess, for a while live. We kind of just do it on piano, mostly piano and vocal. It's gone over so well that we thought, let's just record it, do a recorded version.
It's yeah, I love that. It's I would have to say my favorite song, you know.
Well, thank you. That's of all our songs, Gone Away is probably the one that touches people most in a very serious, you know, and heartfelt way. We hear that a lot, and it has been, you know, with the piano version, I think it's been such a dynamic, and really when you just strip it down to the piano and vocals, it really adds a purity to that, you know, and a directness to the song. You know, you're not covering anything up with guitars and bass and drums, right? Until the end, when we come in. The fans really wanted to hear a version like that, a studio recorded version where we did strip it down and give it that purity that the piano version affords. So it was pretty much the fans wanted it, and we thought that's a great idea. Let's do it. I know it took him out of his comfort zone a little bit, the way he played and sings, but we supported him. So we think it's awesome.
Have you ever discussed the meaning behind it? Because I remember researching, and it was like, yeah, they haven't really said what the meaning behind it is, and that was years ago. Have you talked about that?
I mean, it's a song about loss, obviously. I don't talk about specifically who it was. I don't think it's important, and I want people to relate to it in their own way.
Well, I mean, that's how we do.
Everybody loses people in their life. I mean, it just happens, you know, more and more, especially with everything we see going on in the world right now. And unfortunately, with COVID, you know, it happened a lot, you know, this last year to pretty much everybody. So, but everybody loses people they love, you know, in their life, and it's a horrible thing, but it's part of life. It's, you know, but when you write a song about it, you know, it can really touch people, and we're fortunate that this one has.
Well, you touched on COVID here, and you guys recorded this album during the COVID age. Were you guys together at all? Was this stuff you were sending back and forth? How'd that work this time around for you guys?
There were a lot of masks.
A lot of masks. A lot of masks. I mean, you can stay socially distanced in a studio. It's not that hard, but our producer Bob Rock actually zoomed in from home over part of it.
Wow.
It just wasn't a good time to be traveling, especially LA was like the last place people wanted to come to, understandably.
Yeah.
So
we had Pete fly out for all the drum recording here, except for the the Here Kitty Kitty, the song, the cover we did from the Tiger King documentary. Pete did those drums remotely in his own studio in Nashville. Yeah.
So that takes me to the next question, which is rehearsals. Have you been rehearsing for touring, for getting this stuff out? Has that already started? Has that begun?
We have, yeah, quite a bit, actually. We had Pete out a couple weeks ago. We played a bunch. And it was just, I mean, we missed the audience. We missed the crowd there, but it was just so fun playing music together again. We've been getting together, Todd and Dexter and I, and just making sure everything's locked in on all the guitar parts, you know, and really even revisiting old stuff, not just the new stuff, but revisiting old stuff. And, you know I've developed a lot of bad habits over the last 25 years of playing live, strumming up when I should be strumming down, for instance. And so we're just looking at that again and making sure that when we hit a note, it's banging.
That's interesting that you say that, because a lot of bands, when you go see them years and years later, you're like, well, that's not how they used to play the song back then. And that would be a reason why, I guess, even as simple as a strum up instead of down type of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just change. you're focusing on other things. All of a sudden you change something, you don't realize you're doing it. So I know a lot of times what I play live isn't what I played on the record, just because I don't know, I just developed a bad habit. Now other times when you're playing something live to a microphone, you can get it really clean sounding. Where you play that in a big boomy arena, or big venue, it doesn't sound clean. You have to change how you play it just to make it sound better live. So that's a different thing. That's intentional, as opposed to usually when I'm just fucking up.
Oh man. Well, I cannot wait till we see you guys again. Like I said, I've seen you probably 5 times in the last 8 or 9 years or whatever, but it's never a bad show.
Were you at the acoustic show? I think that's the last time we were there. Or
the one I was at the Rialto in 2019. That was I believe that show. Yes.
The acoustic show was a blast. That was fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like a chili cook-off or a beer fest, I think it was.
The Sabroso craft beer, taco, wrestling.
That's right.
I was there, and then like I said, I saw you in Vegas at the convention there, and then you played a couple of our fall balls, KFMA fall balls.
Oh, right, yeah.
So like I said, I've seen you several times, more times than I saw you on regular album cycles without an album. So you guys were certainly busy. It wasn't like you guys were sitting around just making hot sauce all day. By the way, I picture you guys having cases of this in your garage, just like, hey, you need some hot sauce,
We do.
Airplane hangers too, full of that shit. Yeah.
All right. I know we got to wrap things up here. I just have one final question. It's for Noodles. Have you found any more of your grandfather's ukuleles in the last several months?
Yeah, fortunately, my grandfather was a collector of ukuleles, an avid collector. So he left me a quite an array of ukuleles.
That's
Thank God.
Fantastic.
Good.
Well,
yes.
I love you guys. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Let the Bad Times Roll, coming out April 16th. So excited about it. Everybody needs to get it as soon as it comes out. And we hope to see you guys here in Tucson sometime soon.
Me too. Great city. Can't wait to get back.
Can't wait.
Beautiful guys. Take care, man.
Good talking to you. Thank you very much.
You too.
You got it. See ya.